Welcome everybody. Thanks for gathering around the virtual telescope with me today. Just going to give a shout out first before we do anything to our Stargazer member, Andrew Witt. Thanks, Andrew, honestly, for supporting us in our effort here. Your contribution means the universe to me. It really does. I appreciate that. It shows that there's value and somebody sees value in what we're doing here. So again, Andrew, thank you for being a Stargazer member. This report is going back to October 20th, 2025, back to top view. After this, I have a couple in November, a couple in December, a couple in January, and then the one we did last night, which was a fantastic observing session. Be excited to share that with you. Anyway, just 2 days after injuring my hand with my doctor's permission, and if you want to see that post, head over to my blog. I have a link right here on the post. Patreon's currently flagged the original post I did on EadsyAstronomy here for a reason that doesn't make any sense at all, and so I'm trying to understand it. I've asked them for explanation and to review the actual post. And anyway, I think AI flagged it for some strange reason, because the reason listed is stupid. Anyway, I'd never do what they said. Anyway, but it's over on my Jay's Astronomical Observing blog if you want to see it there. Anyway, and again, at the end of it, I have pictures of my hand. You can see blood still from when I punctured my hand and injured it, and it shows the stitches. So if that makes you queasy, just don't do anything with it. You can just not go to that part of it. Anyway, so I took my bandage hand out and headed out to my observing site called Top View on Toon Road. I went there because it was a beautiful night. It's only about 45-50 minutes from my home. So if something were to happen while I was observing or needed my son to come out, he's 31. He's more than capable. He's used my equipment from all his life since he was a young teen, and he's well trained and well versed on it. So Nathan could come out and rescue me if I needed. Shane would always come to my rescue, which I really appreciate his friendship. He's a great friend. Anyway, the video that I show here, and I'm not going to upload all these videos to YouTube. If somebody wants to see them, they can actually come to EadsyAstronomy and take a look at them here. The first one's about 9 minutes long, 9:21, as you can see here, and it just covers my drive out, my thoughts about thinking. I share some of the amazing growth that's happening out here. 25 years ago, when I started going out there was nothing out here, and this is out by, that image right there is out on 73 by Cedar Fort and heading toward Camp Floyd. There was just nothing out there, but a lot of building going on out there now. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate because it's just, there's a lot of light pollution out there. There's a data center out there now in Saratoga Springs Eagle Mountain, that's a Meta data center, and at night it's lit up like you can't believe. Last night we were observing this side of Lookout Pass, just right by Lookout Pass, and you could see, it was wide open views. We could see all the way past 5 Mile Pass, and that data center had its own little light glow that was brighter than the general light glow from the light pollution from Salt Lake down to past Provo, Spanish Fork, in that area. Anyway, so this video, just recording my drive out, my thoughts and things like that. You're welcome to look at it. I discuss my injury, my process for healing, and I discuss the increase of light pollution, and also go into why I love the desert. Some people don't like the desert. I've really grown to love the desert in my time. I love the mountains and I love the ocean, but I also love the desert. I find beauty in all of these creations. They're just amazing to me. The second video is just a few minutes after the one above, and at this time I'm on the Pony Express Road heading westbound, heading out to Top View, and just kind of show what that area is like again. So if you're interested in that, take a look there. So after I drove out onto Toon Road and parked, I unloaded. I set up Starcatcher, which is my name for my 17.5-inch Dobsonian telescope. The video shows me collimating it. You can see in that initial picture, I've got the mirror box and the rocker. I've attached the truss poles, and I'm going to play around with the counterweight and fix that, and then get her collimated and aligned and ready to go. And then, as you can see, this picture, it once again, it just shows star catcher fully assembled, collimated, aligned. She's ready to rock and roll. So just look at that gorgeous view there and that gorgeous night. So lucky that I was able to get back out, that my injury really, it's been a pain in the rear, but like I said last night, if you watch that other post, it's a little numb still, right in here, but it used to go all the way up here, and it's still a little bit there, but mostly right here, starting to fade as the nerve heals, as my doctor says. It just takes time. Anyway, it was again one of those wonderful fall nights, and I was very excited to make up from October 18th lack of observing due to injuring myself. That night was just fantastic, and I hope from the following images you'll realize and just get a sense of how wonderful it was out there this night. Fall's the best season, I feel, to observe in Utah. The heat of the summer is fading. It's warm enough, even in the evening, to not really be bulked up. You got to wear layers. I'm not going to lie about that, but it's cool enough to let you know that winter's knocking on the door soon. I love the fall colors. I love to go hiking in Utah in the fall colors, and I just love the skies here because in the fall they settle down. The dust disappears, the smoke disappears. They're gone, and we really get some of the best and stable skies all year. Fall and then winter after a storm can just, about the second or third night, it will be the best observing of all. You're going to put up with extreme cold here, teens, 20s, sometimes single digits. But let me tell you, it is worth it to go out, set up your scope, even if you have to push a little bit of snow around, and just observe what's out there. Anyway, here's a view looking, I believe this is to the southwest. Those are the sheep rocks in the far distance there. I have this zoomed out just so you get a sense of it. And this is looking west, and you can see airplane going there, small contrail. Always been told that's a good thing. So anyway, you can see my little thumb here as I take another image of Starcatcher looking to the northwest, to the northwest here, over the Stansbury Mountains there. Yeah, I thought I'd include it. Probably should have cut my thumb out and should have straightened it out, but oh well, a little late now. I'll share here what is there and how I use it. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to describe what's on my table, okay? And that's why I thought I would include it here. The backpack on the ground is my sketching bag. You can see that it contains my sketching materials, my brushes, my pastel chalks, my sharpeners, everything I could ever need or want to use when I sketch. I usually not laid, but let's get that fixed. So anyway, I usually lay the box I have a pencil box. Could probably even show you right now, right here, just so you can see it, you can hear it. I have a pencil box. Actually, I have two, but the other one I'm not going to grab is over there. Anyway, and put that on the table. I also grab out my brushes, which are, as you can see right here in their brush bag, and push those down a little bit so they don't get messed up. And I can flip that down so when it gets a little dewy, it doesn't get bad. Nice thing to hold them in. I really like it. Keeps the brushes nice and firm. Anyway, so I pull all that out, all my sketching materials. I have I'm going to show, sorry, I'm going to get into a little bit of show and tell here. I actually have two of these, but I'm just going to show this one. This is a sketching pad. You can see I have 220 sandpaper up here. I put my pastels, paste dust on here, and then when I'm observing, that's what I use to, I can either put the pad on here, which I usually do, and then I can just move to go from here to here. So anyway, I also have a sketching light that I can put on there if I need to. Let me come back into view now. Sorry, love to sketch. On the top of the iPad, underneath the iPad, is my sketching clipboard, which I just went through with you. You can see my red lights on here. You can see my thermos. Because of my celiac and my kidney disease, and my lactose intolerance on top of that, get a little of that. A lot of things I can't have, and one of them is apple cider. So that's warm, hot apple cider in the mug. Yeah, I had a Mountain Dew Baja there, zero. Not supposed to have that. I've actually done a really good job in the last 3 weeks. Haven't had any, and I really like Mountain Dew, but I've given it up. Anyway, you can also see the box. I use this box to hold my eyepieces, so I don't have to run. They're the main eyepieces I really feel I'm going to use that night. I have the Pentex 16.5 XW there, just outside of the box. I have the 20 millimeter XWA, the 9 millimeter, and the 7 millimeter XWA there. They're really my go-to eyepieces, to be honest with you. I have a new one that I just bought from Michael's, which is a hobby store. It's Christmas colored, but it's about this big. It's out in the garage, so I can't show you right now. But it has 9 compartments. It's about 6 inches high, so it holds the eyepieces. Each compartment's about 3 by 3 by 3, and 6 inches high. And I can fit my 9 eyepieces in there. It has little bags on the outside, fit perfectly for my filters. So basically, that's my observing bag when I'm in the field. I can take them right from the Pelican case or the other cases that I have and just put them there and know that those are mainly going to be the eyepieces I use. I can always go back to the Ascent. I've put the red LEDs in it. If I open it, I usually have mirror covers on my mirrors because those, I probably need to cancel those side mirror lights that come on. But I kind of like them when I'm not observing. But anyway, I have the red lights when I open the door. As long as I'm not opening one of the drivers or driver's side passenger, if I open the back doors, those side mirror lights don't come on, and the red LEDs come on, and they're a little bright still, but it's better than not having it, and I can keep my observing eye either patched or closed. So anyway, I can always go back and get what I need. In late spring and summer and fall, when I'm not so bulked up, you can see there's the chair I sit at. It's not my observing chair. That's the chair I sit at my table. I keep my table pretty low because of that. What I really like about it, when I'm not bulked up, even if I just have my bibs but no parka, I can usually straddle that chair, and especially in this late spring, summer, and early fall, when not so much, I still have layers on, but not so much. It's very easy to straddle that and just come down and sit, make my notes, record my observation, and be ready to move on to the next object. The next 2 videos are that I show here. You can see there's 2 videos coming up. They're what I call magic time. Those that are my close friends and who observe with me know what I mean by magic time. By this time, the telescope is fully acclimated, the fans are blowing and doing their job to eliminate boundary layers. My table is completely set up, with everything I need to observe that night. I usually have finished my dinner by now, which I mentioned in the first video here, and it's during this time, you can see this in the second video, I actually mentioned it at the end, there's such a stillness, a calm, even a peace that permeates all things around, it seems. It's the time when I get to feel that I'm connected both to the earth, to the area that I'm observing from, and to the universe. Get pretty personal here on this one. All the worries of the day, the week, or the month just seem to slip away as daylight passes into twilight, and twilight gives way into night. I'll get focused once I've enjoyed this transition. People I know look at observing lists. I have all my observing lists ready to go, both on the iPad and Sky Safari. I have a written list. I'm sorry, I'm an old guy at 61. I still like to have that. And but I really don't worry about any of that. I just enjoy this time. Why? It's a time when the rest of the world is passing into night, and here I am, either alone or with a dear and close friend or two, and it's just me, nature, and the universe. It is just so peaceful. It brings a stillness to my mind, a peace to my heart, to my entire person. I can't really describe it, to be honest with you. You probably need to be there with me. However, I know I enjoy it each and every time I go out. I sincerely do. It's one of the main reasons I love getting out early to the observing site, making sure I set up, everything's ready to go. So by the time I get to this point, I can enjoy this transition period, this magic time. It's truly a magic period for me, a magic time for me. Soon after this, as nighttime comes, I'm going to be in depth in the hunt and observing objects as a result. However, I still love this time. And then I just, in this video, if you actually take the time to watch, it's 2 minutes and 54 seconds. It really explains probably the heart of why I love going out there. Night came on as it usually does, pretty rapidly, leaving this transition time as just a memory, one I treasure, like I said, every time I go out. My first object that night was Comet A/6 C2025 Lemon. Let's get all the main stuff covered here for all these observations. Observing time about 6:30 to 2:45, 2 o'clock a.m. Location was top view on Toon Road in the West Desert of Utah. The SQML that I took as measurements usually began this night about 21:51 at this site, at about 21:54. The telescope, 17.5 f/44 Dobsonian telescope called Starcatcher, used a paracord type 2 in all these observations. Temperature started at about 46 degrees. It ended at about 28 degrees, so it got pretty cool. Seeing, I'd say, rated 4 out of 5. Transparency, 5 out of 5. Antonati, 1 to 2. Just depended. I think it started about a 2 and ended at about a 1. Here you can see Comet Lemon in the 17.5, and this was with the 20 millimeter. I really sketched it with the 7 millimeter XWA. Just going to pause, take a drink. So anyway, thank you for letting me do that. The comet had a very bright stellar core. The eastern side is triangular and not as bright as the western end. The western end is very bright, especially next to the core. The tail was very long and extended. We'll get to a post that I do in Butterfield Canyon right after this one. I'll post that up Monday. And I actually have a beautiful image from the sea star. And my sketch I took while the sea star was imaging, to me, I really liked it because it really mimics what the sea star captured. It was really, really cool to do that. Anyway, that was beautiful. The next object hopped over to NGC 6934, Caldwell 47, globular cluster in Delphinus. It was about 7:26 p.m., 21:51. Eyepiece is 20 millimeter XWA with the 9 millimeter XWA. Nice bright globular cluster here. It's easily seen in the 20 millimeter XWA. Bright core, fainter halo. The 9 millimeter really showed it very bright, and it had an intense core at that point, and faint stars showing in the halo. It was located in a pretty rich field, provided an excellent view. If you want to read the info about it in Herschel's notes, I've included those here. Next object, 7006, a globular cluster in Delphinus. Used the 20 and the 9 again. It's about 7:48, bright inner core, surrounded by a nice halo. No stars were evident. Located in a nice field of stars, centered in the equatorial thing of these 3 stars right there. No nucleus was observed. Some stars did pop out with averted vision and were seen on the outer edges of the halo. Again, the info's there with Herschel's notes. 6910, open cluster in Cygnus. SQM had improved to point 2152 by 8 o'clock. Nice large open cluster, 2 bright stars with many smaller stars. Makes a sideways T, kind of. Provides a nice and pleasant view, but nothing spectacular. Again, the info's there. 7510, open cluster in Cepheus. Very small and condensed. In the time here, the way that the sketches loaded when I uploaded them was a little off, so you'll need to see the time. The time here, we jumped all the way to 11, then we'll jump back to earlier in the evening on later sketches. Anyway, very small and condensed open cluster, shows about 20 stars in a small size. The 9 millimeter really brought out a lot more stars. It seemed to me to form an almost I want to say an arrowhead. I think now as I look at it, it's more like a heart. But anyway, maybe a Butterfly, that might be a good thing. Here's the head, there's the little antenna, there's a wing, and there's a wing. So anyway, you can see different things at different times, right? Next one, moved on to NGC 40 or Caldwell 2. It's a planetary nebula in Cepheus. This time was 1140. SQML at this time had gone up to 2154. This was with the 20 millimeter XWA, the 9 millimeter, the 7 millimeter XWA, the 4.8 XWA, and a 5 millimeter Pentax. I really took my time jumping around eyepieces to just get the best views that I could out of this. It showed very faintly in the 20 millimeter XWA. The 9 millimeter showed it beautifully, much improved view. The O3 hid most of the planetary, but the UHC showed its full size and curve here and shape. The central wolf ray star was observed easily. The 5 millimeter Pentax in the 4.8 XWA brought out irregularities and modeling in the inner region. An H-beta filter I tried on it showed the PM the best in lower power. UHC was best in higher power. You can read the info on it. That was a fun object to go after again. Seen it before. It was good to get it again. 7448 Spiral Galaxy and Pegasus. Basically, this sketch was the 20 when I brought the 9 and 7. And I've had a couple better sketches of that recently. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that one. Next one was 7814. It's a Spiral Galaxy and Pegasus. It's also called the Little Sombrero. Anyway, this was an elongated lenticular galaxy, very large, bright inner core, somewhat of a stellar nucleus. Included that in the sketch with averted vision. And with averted vision, it actually popped out really good. You can see I had such great skies that night. Just a hint of the dark lane. Just a notch with averted vision. I could just say it was there. Maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe I'm thinking of it because I've looked at images of it. Could be a pseudo, but I believe at the eyepiece I was seeing the dark lane. So anyway, you can read the info there. Next one, 7209. A lot of open clusters this night. There's a lot of open clusters on the Herschel 400. So when you do that list, if you haven't done it, expect a lot of open clusters. And I really love them. They're beautiful. A lot of people don't like them. I've actually fallen back in love with them, so that's a good thing. 50 plus stars in the view here. I call it the question mark because I see some question marks here, some there. I see kind of one there. So I just kind of call it the question mark cluster here. Anyway, you can read about that there. The next one was 7243, another open cluster in Lacerda, 150 stars plus. It was a nice open cluster to observe and sketch. A lot of them in the magnitude 9 to 11 range, some 12 to 13, of course. I sketched in groups, just starting up here and just working my way around. Okay. Next one, 7296 in Lacerda. This I called the arrowhead. It's also been called the diamond. I think it looks more like an arrowhead myself. Showed best in the 20 millimeter XWA. Could see some fainter stars in the halo. Came out best of best, and I sketched it in the 9 millimeter XWA in the 7. About 30-40 stars here, laying north to south in curving patterns. I call this one the arrowhead, when you can see why on this one. There's the info on it. Next one, 6939, another open cluster in Cepheus. Small open cluster in the 20, has a halo. It seems to be around it. Appeared to be hints of stars wanting to pop. And when I moved it down to the 9 XWA, sure enough, they popped out. You can see the result there, over 120 stars there. It was at that time the favorite sketch of the night for me. And again, these are just my raw sketches. I haven't processed them. I could go into GIMP and round my stars out and stuff like that. I just want to be as authentic as possible and let you see what it actually looks like, the final product that I end up coming back from the telescope with. There's a lot of validity in that. As aesthetically pleasing as I could make it, I could take it. I could even recreate the whole sketch in GIMP. I used to do that. I'm done with that. This is what it is. I like what I do. I enjoy sketching. That's the key to it. I enjoy it. I hope people like them. I know people who see the ones that I do and haven't seen them in person, they're a lot better than what's on the screen. So anyway, you can read about that. This one, 7160 in Cepheus. It's a fun and small cluster here. Let's just get that fixed really quick. It's very compact, observed about 35, 45 stars with lots of double stars. Good thing I'm doing this so I can pick up my irregular. Anyway, many bright stars, magnitude 7.0. There were the 2.70 and 7.9 there, within about a degree of each other there. Open cluster surrounded by an irregular circle of about 9 stars. So very tight, very wonderful little open cluster. Take that and read the info on it. Another open cluster in Cepheus, 7142. In the 20 small, 9 millimeter becomes a rich and large open cluster. Took magnification really well. So you can read about that if you want to look at that. The next one, 7380, another open cluster in Cepheus. And you can, this one was actually really amazing. Probably last object of the night. And 7380, next fall, if you get the opportunity, look for it in Cepheus, okay? And it's just incredible, okay? It's an open cluster that has a, oh boy, I was typing too fast here, bright triangular shape of nebulosity around it, and in the O3, especially in the O3 and UHC filters. That is SH2142. It's also called the Wizard. It's very fun. It's a very rewarding open cluster observation. It shows to me more of an inverted Y shape. You can kind of see that here, and it's kind of inverted because of the daub. Without filters, I could detect a glow around the stars. With the filters, the nebula really comes out. It's just a fun, and I tried to capture it. There's a little bit of a dark lane there that separates it. Just a fun observation. Highly recommend you go there. Ended the night. I'll include as a last video if you want to take it, my thoughts on the night as I'm driving out. And anyway, just love going out and looking up. I love studying astronomy. I love posting about what I learn about it. But the heart of what I love to do is get out with a telescope in a dark sky and observe. I'll also include my sea star pictures here, so if you want to see those, come back and go over to EadsyAstronomy on Patreon. I'll make a little plug here. If you find value in what we're doing here, $3 a month gives you Stargazer. You get time with me once a month if you want it. You can you'll get access to the videos like I posted in here of my observations. Those are going to go for Stargazer members in the future. So anyway, point is to make as much of the information as free as possible, probably 99% of it. And I hope you find value in it. I hope that you get a sense, a little bit of who I am and my voice, and how much I just love this hobby. I love the study of astronomy. I love connecting with the universe. It's amazing to see what's up there and to see acts of creation going on and all kinds of wonderful things. Well, I hope you have clear skies where you are. I'll probably get a lot done next week. We're heading into a stormy pattern for the early part of next week, midweek, and so look forward to getting a lot done. Got a lot more observing reports to go, so we'll catch you next time. Thanks for gathering with me, and you have a wonderful night, and take care.